represent one of the Greek muses from which all of our musical science has been derived. In fact, Jesus was only one of the notes of the mystical energies that...
Do you know which one is Jesus? you pushed two.
Yeah, he's great.
Who's doing?
He sounds awful. I'm Paul, and my music is Photophone. Yeah. Go us. In a weird way, those kind of nights have like this perverse joy, like in their darkness, and in this, I don't know, just like when people are brought back from the brink of drowning, they're overcome with whatever it is, DMT, all the strange things that fire in your brain in those situations. So yeah, those nights are really fucked up. Like that's that's for sure. And I know exactly what they are. I think a lot of people do.
Why in the dark?
So,
dear heart, have you come to see me? Why in the world won't you say?
Because there's still
why in the darkness?
I mean, there's a chance for everybody.
Do I see so clearly? You have not gone away.
And just forgetting about it, like Jesus. I play in a band. It's called Bad Mass Fire CDs on the internet. Oh man, playing music is just amazing because it causes me a lot of strife, because after I play, I'm so self-conscious about how I behave, self-conscious about how it sounded, whatever, or I've gotten in this thing where I'll accompany like a silent film, like being the piano player, and I'm like bad at it. I don't have the toolkit for it. It stresses me out so much leading up to it. But like, if you're in that high pressure situation, it's like people with Tourette's. Their brain is somehow in this spot, or they've done a lot of research with the jazz players in this moment of kind of flow, and they stop with the tics, or I stop with like the kind of twisted thinking because I just can't afford it. And that's so cool. It becomes like this weird space, and like moments where I feel like a flash of, if I'll look up and I'll notice somebody listening and I'll be like, oh, I look like an idiot, or oh, I'm playing the wrong notes, or whatever. That somehow being upset about that like only gets me more jazzed. And it's like, you can't care about it because you can't afford caring about anything. It's this wonderful space. So that's my advocation for music. I think more than other arts even, perhaps maybe performance art, as very temporary therapy. Like long-term, overall, I spend more time being bothered by the idea of musical ventures, but oh man, when you're playing, like especially with a group of people that you have great chemistry with, it's just, you feel like it's just no drug is like that. It's amazing. That's my daughter. Totally.
That's awesome.
It feels good.
You sang, can you sing, but woke up.
You can't get up.
It's like impossible.
I like to think sometimes, like if I sleep in, I think to myself, if I sleep, I have a lyric. If I sleep for long enough, awake becomes a dream, and the dream, it's not great, but like it'll just be imaginary because I'll switch over, and that just, I don't know, like, I mean, I guess it's kind of hard because as a religious person, like, I don't want to tell anybody, seek Jesus or anything like that, because that just doesn't. I don't think that's. I think that's something that you find when you're ready and when you're clear-headed and when you're really looking into it. I don't think that's. I think if you've sort of, like, it just doesn't make sense. You're too far gone. Your brain is just, it's terrible. You're stuck in that. And I mean, I don't know. Part of it's distracting yourself, but like rightly, like, because you can just, I mean, you can have one of those things where you just end up staying all night vegging out, like playing video games or just finding, or watching TV, or just finding, like, trying to, like, inundate yourself and just pain kill as far as thinking. And then sometimes you're too far gone to try and create out of it or put it into words or put it into thoughts, and it's late at night, and just sometimes you just can't go to bed. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't have any advice for myself. I haven't gotten better at it. It's gotten worse. It's gotten a lot worse, and that's, I don't know, just what it is. But it's always at least a little better when you wake up. And yeah, and you're still alive. I mean, so like the Epicureans or somebody, I don't know who the fuck this is, maybe the Stoics, some people a long time ago who decided they need to give themselves a name as a group. You know, when they talk about death, they say, well, death isn't really a concern for the living because no one knows death except the dead. And the dead don't care about life because they're dead. Like, it's kind of this weird, I mean, and it's weird that there's this fascination with suicide to say, this hurts so much, I want it to end, but you have no metric of what hurt is outside of life. You have no metric if life after death is better. I mean, some people have systems of faith, but even that doesn't really get you off the hook. The fact is, you're alive, we can probably assume, and it's already started. So, there's something kind of wonderful to say, I'm going to see it out, regardless of circumstance, and circumstance between people's lives is incredibly diverse. Like, I don't even pretend to know what anybody who lives in the same area I live in this, as the same as a male, as a person of my class or background. I mean, Jesus, the world is like just huge, and so everybody's coming from different angles and different. Just everything's really different and complicated. But like whatever you were given, I don't know. You might as well see it out. There's a Cake song like you still how's it go? You still don't like to leave before the end of the movie. Like, I have a buddy who watches a lot of movies, and he has never walked out of a film. And he's never walked out of a film he found, like, mortally reprehensible, not just bad. Like, you see it to the end. And not even because it could get better, but just because you want to say you saw it. Like, don't you want to say you saw it? Like, you just don't leave in the middle of the movie. Yeah. Whatever. So, some of us are stuck in shitty films. Yep. That's it.
If looks could kill, you'd be my suicide. I'd feel so well, warm, wet, giver of still life. Grapefruit and blood, and asphalt in the rain, smell good enough to keep me here one more day.
Oh, yeah. The Bible says something to the effect, I think in Proverbs, you know, so like toil, something biblical sounding, bad stuff comes at night, but peace comes in the morning. And I don't know, at first I was like, you know, if you think that when you're at night and you're having a fit, it sounds so ridiculous, but it's just really true.